Grand Rising, wonderful souls. Welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm I felt straight away as I tapped in, there's something going on with somebody's, like, their crown and their third eye. I don't know if this is somebody seeing something for the first time, because the song that has been stuck in my head since I woke up is "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?" from Frozen. And I thought I'd look at the lyrics, and the first chorus says, "Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. Come out the door. It's like you've gone away. We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. I wish you would tell me why. Do you want to build a snowman? Okay, bye." And I'm getting that there's someone here that may have changed their minds, or it's not so much changed their minds. They've learned something, or they've changed a perspective on something from the past, in which maybe they distance themselves from you, or you distance yourselves from them. And there seems to be a want to reconnect in some way here. So let's kind of tap into that and see what wants to come through. If you're new to this channel, my name is Bronwen. This is Bronwens Cove Tarot 111. It's really good to have you here. If you are a returning subscriber, soul family, it's good to have you back. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, and your subscribes. I truly appreciate you all. I'm going to be ringing a new bell. Check out this new lovely bell that I've got here. Why are you looking so wonky? Give me 1 second, my loves. Let's see if I can straighten you out slightly. Hopefully that is good enough. Okay, so if you have any type of sound sensitivity, please turn down your listening device in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Okay, I don't know if this reading is more for the masculines in the group, or if there is a masculine energy that misses you. And when I say masculine, I'm not talking about a man, because we hold both masculine and feminine energy. Just somebody who sits more in their masculine energy. I don't know why I got that just from ringing the bell. But there's someone here that, it could be a sibling. It could be someone that you saw as a really close friend. There was a closeness at some point, and it's been removed, or there's been distance over time. I'm going to have a little bit of my tea, and we're going to start. Please know, again, doing my shameful advertising for my friend, this is a product of Jane Doe Prints. If you like this style of illustration, Jane Doe Prints has a massive array of different styles in this style, if that makes sense. There is 25% off your first purchase if you use the discount code BronwensCoveTarot, all one word, big B, big C, big T. If you go to the website, and you'll find it down below, janedoe.bigcartel.com. Okay. This is not a paid promotion. This is my friend who does this. They're an awesome artist. Awesome artist. So if that's something that you feel like you'd like to grab, go and have a look over there. Okay. So I keep getting pulled over to this book. And to this little deck that I made. I've coloured them and painted them and all the rest of it. So this one first? No, this is going to be second. So we're going to have a look on here and just see confrontation and truth is upside down. Interesting. Whoever this person is, they may have they may be confronting some sort of lie here. They may actually be confronting some sort of lie. So they may be confronting some sort of lie for themselves, to be quite honest. This is a new angle, so please let me know if you are enjoying this angle, the way that I've got it like this. If not, I can always bring it a little bit closer. But that yellow, that's giving me solar plexus. So this is somebody that you knew from childhood. This is because that song itself is about come out and play. You have somebody who may be kind of like connecting back to their childhood, and you are part of that, and that's why they want to get in contact with you. Now, we have truth in reverse. There's something here that either they listened to a lie thinking it was a truth, their perception was warped on something when to do with you, that refers to you, and that may be why they moved away. Let me see, because I've still got that song stuck in my head. Do you want to build a snowman? Can I get another one, please? That's too many. That's way too many. Can I get one more, please? Let's just have a look and see what wants to come out. I'm going to try and like speak up a little bit more, because I know that some people are saying that, you know, some of my readings have been a bit quiet. I can mumble at times. Wounded inner child. Okay. So there's definitely something going on here with this person. A trauma that may have happened when they were a kid. A wound that was created. You've got choose coming out. So we've got a lot of yellow coming out here. A choice. They chose to do something here. And it was based on lies, or it was based on an insecurity formed from a lie, from something that just wasn't truth that they believed in. Now we have here that pillow wanted to come out again, and you've also got confusion, doubt, and worry coming out. Okay, so it does say here for pillow, comfort, protection, rest, the presence of a loved one passed over, and it's in reverse. So this person, there's some, what did they do? They want to make something right, or they want to either, because I don't know if this is you moving away from them and like cutting them off, or if they cut you off and they're like, oh, what did I do? Why did I do that? I would like to kind of make amends, because this in reverse is the lack of comfort, the lack of protection, the lack of rest, and the lack of a loved one passed over. I don't feel like I need to put that one out though. Let me pop you over here. Okay. Let me have a look at this book really quick. Okay. This book is by Young Pueblo, and each one of the pages has a different kind of like piece of advice on it. So I wanted to see what wanted to come through. Wow. Okay. It says here, a partner who supports your power is priceless. Someone who appreciates your opinions, who has faith in your dreams, and knows that you can achieve great things. They recognize that you are whole as an individual, but are ready to complement your life with their love and dedication. Together, you share the responsibility of leadership. With gentle honesty and an open communication, you check in often to make sure you understand each other well, and are doing what you can to strengthen your union. Okay, I want to show you this book because it's an awesome book. So it seems like this person, you may have grown up with this person, and I know that in what we were talking about, it's more to do with romance, but it does seem like there was some sort of partnership here where one person just made an assumption, and they made an assumption that they created a truth from, and from that warped perception of truth, that relationship broke down, that relationship was gone. And it wouldn't matter if one person was working really hard to kind of keep something balanced. It's not going to if the other person feels like there's something about like there not being even playing field of some sort. Now I'm really being called over to the Nightmare Before Christmas. So let's have a look. Wow. And I've just taken out underneath the Nightmare Before Christmas, I have this deck, the Tarot Spreads of the Year. Okay, and it has prompts, it has different cards for prompts, and the one that's underneath says friendship. You've got growth and friendship, and the first question is what I need more of in my friendships. Then it's a belief that's holding me back from getting more of what I need, and the third one is one thing I can do to release this belief and get more of what I need from my friendships. So this is a friend, this is a friendship without a doubt. This is someone that you may have seen as family. This is definitely, look, you've got the Three of Swords underneath. So this is definitely healing something here. Okay. Let's know. So tell me about this confrontation. So you may have had a confrontation with someone here. You may have had a confrontation. They may have had a confrontation with you based on something that was a lie. Five of Candles is coming out. I'm not even sure if this is a good angle. I'm sorry if it's not. But you have got here the Five of Wands. So this is like an argument, an actual argument. I'm going to put that one down there. Now let's see. Can I get one for the truth in reverse, please? One for the truth in reverse. That would be so awesome. Thank you, Spirit. They're really stuck together today. You have here the Four of Candles. So there's a lot of wands coming in here. And when you think of like candles, they illuminate, don't they? They shed some sort of light. And here, the light that's being shed is some sort of aggression, some sort of butting of heads. I mean, you see the witch and the devil are really going for it. They're really fighting each other. And then the Four of Candles in reverse. This is a lack of foundations. This is a lack of rest or identity, of understanding something here. This being in reverse, this false sense of truth. This false sense of truth has created some sort of shaky foundation that may have broken up a friendship. Why? And this one, this seems to be, oh, I'm going to pop it on top of my tea for now until I want to drink my tea. So we have this is the Three of Swords. But what I find very interesting is that one of those swords is actually upside down. So we literally have doubt, worry, like we were saying in the other cards, doubt, worry, fear, confusion. And then you have that Ace of Swords in reverse because of a lie. Yeah, the King of Needles, you have the Star. This is giving me, with the Star, this is, you know, everyone knows this. Everyone sees the Star. Everyone knows the Star. Everyone looks at that star, right? You then have the King of Needles. And the King of Needles is the king of... This is about morals. There's something here about morals. Someone feeling like they're not morally righteous. But it's almost like the shadow or the ego coming out to play. And allowing it to lead, be that you or them. And this person is, it's not so much they're having a change of heart, it's that they're actually seeing through the BS. They're seeing through whatever this fake news is, whatever this fake truth is. Okay. Tell me about the wounded inner child. Tell me about the wounded inner child, please. Look, the wounded inner child has the Three of Swords as well. So this could be a fear of abandonment. This could be a fear of not being seen. This could be a fear of not being heard or valued, and your voice not, or your opinions not being valued. There is something here that triggered in both you and this person. And by triggering in both you and this person, rather than being able to see it for, oh my gosh, that's something that we need to heal, and maybe we can do that together. It was, I have to protect myself because the other person is the issue. When that's the ego speaking, and I say that with absolute love. I do not say that in judgment. Tell me about shoes, please. Tell me about shoes, please. Thank you. Okay, we've got Page of Needles coming out. So the Page of Needles is the Page of Swords. We are looking at a choice in whether you wish to learn more about this, or this person is now choosing on whether or not they wish to kind of learn more about what the actual truth is, because the truth comes from within. And yes, you have your truth, you have their truth, and you have the actual truth. But I do feel like a lot of this is to do with self-projection, projection of self, projection of how we feel. Because this friendship, I feel like this is a good friendship. I don't feel like this is a toxic friendship or anything like that. I feel like there are wounds here that need to be healed, and there's got to be a reason why this message has come forward and found you, especially if it's resonating when it comes to a specific person. If you are thinking of somebody who has completely betrayed you and you never want to see them again, this is not the reading for you, because this seems more like the energy of maybe I'd be open to speaking to them again, or maybe I'd be open to figuring out what it was that went wrong. And if you are resisting that in any way, then this isn't your reading, and that's okay, you know. What I do want to know though, with this friendship, I'm going to swap it round so we can actually read into this a bit more. That choose with the Page of Needles. This is a student. This is somebody who is either an apprentice, somebody who wants to learn, somebody who's eager to know. Very mercurial energy over here of, you know, studying, assimilating information. Again, if this is in any way grating against you, or you're wanting to fight against this reading, it's for someone else, and that is okay. Not all of the readings are going to be for you. Know that my readings are for entertainment purposes also. So if this is resonating for you, and you're thinking of a specific person, and you're like, I always wanted to know what happens there, let's figure out. So with friendship here, it says what I need more of in my friendships. What does the collective need more of in their friendships? Okay, so we've had 2 come out. We've got the Queen of Candles, and we've also got the Chariot, and we have that's a 6 of Potions in reverse, 6 of Cups in reverse. So what you need more of in your friendships, or maybe this is a boundary of some sort, something that if you were to talk to this other person, or this person was to reach out, this is something that you could converse on, or maybe this is what they need also. The Queen of Candles here, there's some sort of creativeness. It may be creative ways in which to solve issues, to solve problems. There's something about creation, and again, we have that candle illuminating something for you. Okay, the Queen of Candles, the Queen of Wands is an energy of it's creation. Someone here wants to collaborate with you, or at least work things out, because if I place this Queen of Candles down over the 5 of Candles here, to a confrontation, there is a specific thing that happened that may have broke you guys apart, or it may have distanced you, because that song at the beginning, it doesn't seem to be that you have completely broke off. Maybe you haven't spoken to this person in a while, but the door has always been open, and there is a want for more illumination, more understanding of what happened in that confrontation, why things were said the way that they were, or things weren't said the way that they were, and to come to some sort of creative solution in how everyone can be heard, even if the friendship is not the same afterwards. We also have here the Chariot. So this is healing. This literally is healing. Someone here stays up thinking about you and thinking about how they may have twisted something, and how they may have actually been quite disillusioned in what it was that they felt was happening at the time, because assumption is a crazy thing, isn't it? When we just assume, we know the intent of what that other person is doing or saying or acting, without actually asking them what the intent is. But when you're in the height of an argument, or you're in the height of kind of feeling like you have to defend yourself, it's very difficult to be able to stop and go, hey, well, actually, what do you mean by that? And I mean that without confrontation. So with the Chariot being here, especially as it is about movement as well, we have the Moon. So this is emotions. This is all to do with emotions. This person, they seem to have made progress when it comes to healing something within their emotions, because those reindeer are moving. They literally are moving towards the Moon. This person may be working towards learning something here, or removing some sort of deep-seated wound from childhood that has been marring their experiences or their perception of self as well. I heard fear. There's something about fear, or maybe it's been doing that for you. Now the 6 of Potions in reverse, this is present. This is present time. And we have got the 3 of Needles and the wounded inner child. So at present, this person is still healing through certain things. There is a wound here that they are presently aware of, and this may have been what they needed. Something has clicked for them that is showing them, it's almost like the error of their ways, or maybe that's happening for you. And what I need more of in my friendships, this may be what it is. This may be what your guides are asking you to be open and vulnerable with, is that, you know, whether this is the friendship that you want to get back, or when it comes to a new friend, is knowing that you want to have somebody who is open about what it is that scares them. Or if at any point you're not happy with something they've done, or they're not happy with something that you've done, that the way in which you come towards each other is open and honest, you know, and vulnerable. Because it's okay to be like, you made me feel like this. I'm angry with you, or I'm upset with you, and I need some time, or I want to talk about this, or I just want to have an argument. We need to get it out into the open. And knowing that the other person isn't going to become completely reactive, and that you can actually either hash it out or sit down and talk about it without either stonewalling each other, or this is the end of the relationship, you know. Because that's 6 of Cups being here. I feel like this person wants to connect. There's something here about them wanting to connect. And I'm not getting it in like a negative way. I'm not getting like this person wants to come in and rehash, you know, an old argument. If anything, it seems like they want to understand what happened and why things either ended or became distant, so that they can learn from it. Okay. Can I also get one for number 2? A belief that is holding me back from getting more of what I need. Can I get one for the collective and one for this person, please? Oh, gosh. That's way too many. Way too many. Okay. One for the collective, please. Thank you. So the one for the collective that may be holding you back from getting more of what you need when it comes to having that type of friendship where people are open and honest in how they feel, and it's not just this reactory thing of, well, you're attacking me so I have to defend myself, is the Ace of Potions. So this Ace of Potions in reverse, it's almost, especially as we put it over the Page of Needles with choose, there's something here with actually that energy of defending yourself, of feeling like, well, I need to close down, I'm not going to actually look into any more of what they've said. Though I think that the word of the day is assumptions. It's like Sesame Street, right? The word of the day is assumptions. The Ace of Potions, the Ace of Cups being in reverse, is an energy of, well, my cup is empty. Either they've emptied my cup, or I've thrown my cup out, or they've drained my cup. I'm not going to fill it back up with them. I'm not going to look into that. And especially as we're putting the Ace of Needles, which is about learning, looking into these things, what a belief that is holding you back from getting more of what you need is actually looking into what it is that makes you feel that way when somebody either questions or confronts something that you may have said. And it's to do with the wounded inner child. So if you felt like your voice was taken from you when you were younger, and you speak to somebody, you speak to whoever this friend is that has gone, well, and their reaction is either similar to what it was like when you were a child, I think what you're being asked to do here is to choose whether or not you want to kind of look into why it triggered such an emotional response, and not because you're wrong or because you've done something wrong, because it seems like this person is actually a really good mirror to have a look at where your wounds are, and vice versa. And this may be a really lovely opportunity for you to come together and grow, and that friendship change and grow and mature, right? But the Ace of Potions being in reverse, the Ace of Potions in reverse is not a bad card, especially in referral to what we're talking about here, because with the Page of Needles, this just means you're being asked, do you want to look into this more? Do you want to look into what it is that scared you in that confrontation? What was it that you felt was lacking in that relationships when you had that argument, or when you had that falling out? And are you willing to take this friendship to the next level with this person? Because I feel like they are thinking about you, and they are thinking about the times that were really nice. Because that song playing, that song's a really sweet song, right, between sisters. So whoever this friend is, you may have seen them as family, soul family. They could actually be a family member, right? But that song's just about, come out and play with me. I want it to be like it was before, and I don't understand why we're not. And you have here the World. So something may have ended, or this may actually bring in a closure, and it may be either a closure in this friendship, being able to get the illumination, the closure that you need, so that maybe you don't want to continue with this friend, or it could literally be the end of the old cycle and the beginning of something else. And I think that's really beautiful. And especially look at those colors. We've got the yellow coming in again, so the solar plexus. We've also got orange, so this is sacral chakra. It seems to be removing something here, because that confrontation card is almost like, it's nearly similar, isn't it? It's nearly the same. We have like this more burnt ochre kind of color. So we have a lot of the solar plexus, but it's pushing down into like the sacral chakra. And today I felt really guided. I don't know if you can see this lava lamp, I couldn't think of the word, but it has all the oranges and yellows in here. I feel like something to do with like familial wounds from the past are going to be healed here, really looked at, soothed, recognized, honored, and almost like spoken to in a really gentle, kind way to help a release, some sort of somatic release and purge. You've got the Ace of Presents. Yeah, this is an investment. And then you've got the Wheel of Fortune. That's really beautiful. This is literally saying that looking at this, investing in looking at this, and especially as the Ace of Presents is made as like a child's toy, there is a real encouragement here, a real gentle, almost like a parental encouragement to have a look at this. Even if it means that once you have, that you don't want to continue the friendship and you just want to have that conversation, it's going to bring in this Wheel of Fortune is to do with, for me, especially with this whole reading, lightening the load of something that you may have been carrying for a while that you didn't realize was there. And I heard resentment. And there may be resentment here, and it could be resentment towards a family member, resentment towards somebody from childhood that was supposed to protect you. And whoever this person is, whoever this friend is, or this distant friend, they may have triggered a wound. And like I said, you may have triggered a wound for them. Now, the one thing I can do to release this belief and get more of what I need from my friendships, and let's actually take a different deck. I've been called to take this really cute little, I'm going to take this one, the Sweet Foragers Tarot instead. And I would actually like to have a sip of my tea because I'm super thirsty. 1 second. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's pop you back up there. So one thing I can do to release this belief and get more of what I need from my friendships. So let's see what you can do and what they can do. Knight of Cups and the Knight of Daggers. That's very interesting. So the Knight of Cups being in reverse, I think this is not romanticizing something. Do not romanticize friendships. The Knight of Daggers here, I think it's taking more of a logical, more of a logical perception of when you are interacting with people. And this may actually be for them as well. Let's see. One thing I can do to release this belief, please, for the collective. What can they do to release this belief? You have the Seven of Wands in reverse. So the one thing that you can do, this is really looking within. There's something about questioning certain beliefs that you have that do not fit the mold of who you are, or that you feel are like self-limiting. When you feel that either something's being triggered or that you are having to defend yourself, being able to like step to the side a little bit. And I know that that's difficult. I'm not a therapist. I can't actually be like, this is exactly what you do. But what you're getting from spirit here is, if you can, being able to go, oh, okay, I was reacting in ABC way. Why was I doing that? Why was that happening? Okay, I need to kind of dig into this in your own time, at your own pace. There's no rush, there's no urgency. Just, I think it's having that awareness of, okay, I was triggered. Because the Seven of Wands in reverse, this is the energy of internalizing something here. And if I put this all down all together, the one thing that you can do to release this belief when it comes to confrontation, I think this is speaking clearly at the time about how you feel. We have all wands here. Okay, so we have the Five of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and then we have the Seven of Wands to do with confrontation. And what I'm getting is that, especially with that Seven of Wands in reverse, is finding creative ways in which you can release that energy. So let's say that, you know, somebody, say you have this friend and they've said something, you can tell they're not in a great mood, and they take it out on you, and your usual reaction would be to kind of either bottle it up until you're really angry with them and then you end up having an argument. There is a need here to remove yourself from that situation and maybe go for a jog, go for a run, go do some painting, do something physical, so that you can channel that energy, so that when you do have a conversation, it's not pent up anger or pent up resentment. It's actual channeled, I know what I'm going to say now because I'm going from a logical side. This may also be the advice that they need too. This person seems to be very similar to you, and to get more of what they need from a friendship. What do you need to do to get more from a friendship? Please and thank you. Okay, we have the Page of Daggers. We have the Two of Daggers, interesting. And we have the Ten of Daggers. So there is more to do with thought and the mind, because someone here is very, it's not just reactory. It seems to be that I don't know, maybe you're a fire sign, maybe this person's a fire sign. So we are looking at Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Aries being very much to do, they're doers. You know, I have Aries moon. That's kind of like react and then ask questions later, right? But there's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of passion here. And if this person also has very intense zodiac signs, that may be why either you clashed, or there are certain things that were just very similar and triggering within each other, but your friendship was supposed to illuminate that within each other in a positive way. The Page of Daggers, what you're being asked to do to get more out of what you need from that, either from this actual friendship or friendships going forward, is being able to ask questions, not to assume, not to assume somebody else's intent, not to project how you feel at that given moment onto their intent and the way that they're acting, because someone can get really angry and really upset and then they're directing it at you, but it's actually got nothing to do with you. And I know it's harder to do than say that when you're in the crux of that and somebody is upset, being able to remove yourself and like pull yourself from your emotions and go, hey, what's going on? Because this is not like you. Why are you so angry? And not, why are you so angry at me? Why are you so angry? Because that usually will pull that person to stop and be like, oh, okay, this is the reason why I'm so angry. There's something here about de-escalation rather than escalating. And it takes one. So I don't know if this is an advice for both you and this person that actually would like to speak to you, or if this is just advice also on going forward when you are in friendships where you have very, very similar personalities. And you've got to think, our friends, we pick friends who have the best qualities that we hold within ourselves. That's why we get on so well with our close, our besties. And this person at some point was your bestie, especially with the lyrics actually stating, we used to be best buddies and now we're not. I wish you would tell me why. So this Page of Daggers coming out twice. There's something here about taking time to look at how to heal, or how to at least to gain more information on something that will help either bring you guys back together, or at least give you a better perspective on whatever that situation is, rather than the warped truth of what emotion can give us in that moment. Does that make sense? And let's see what else we'd like to come out. We also have here the Two of Daggers. So the Two of Daggers here can be about confusion. It can be doubt, it can be worry, and we had that at the beginning here. So there's definitely someone here who I think wants to reach out to you that's a little bit confused about how things ended. Maybe because they're realizing that they either acted outside of their actual character, or they acted out of fear, out of worry, or out of confusion, and that was triggering to you, or vice versa. There's something here that they are fully aware that they acted out of a wound and that it wasn't to do with you. And there's maybe a bit of fear or doubt here in how they proceed, because I do think that this person values your friendship. And then you have the Ten of Daggers in reverse. So that Ten of Daggers, I think that this is a choice here for you, whether or not you wish to have a conversation, because you don't have to. This tarot reading isn't saying, oh, you must do this and that's the only way you're going to get closure. You don't have to. You have your own free will. But if this is somebody that you've been thinking about, or you've always thought, well, why did it end that way? Or how comes blah, 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 then this definitely is your confirmation that if this person reaches out, or you want to reach out to them, that you'd be openly welcomed, if that makes sense. Because the Ten of Daggers in reverse is this energy of knowing that you're not about to get stabbed in the back, or this is not like a bitter end. If anything, it's kind of sidestepping some sort of bitter end here. And I feel like that bitter end has more to do with not carrying this into another friendship, or being worried that if you open up and you're vulnerable with somebody, with your emotions or your differing opinions, that somebody's going to speak to you like that again. So yeah, for whoever it is that feels like they need that closure, there you go. You have here a period of ill health and depression coming out. Okay. So this person or you may have been going through a period of ill health. I'm placing this over here. And then you also have work, achievement, and success coming through with the Page of Daggers. So there's something going on here with a warped truth when it comes to work, achievement, and success. Someone feeling ungrounded. And then can I also get one for the Two of Daggers? Oh my gosh, that's too many. Way too many. Can I get one for the wounded inner child, please? What's going on here? What's going on there, please? Okay. Period of prosperity and abundance came out in reverse. Okay, so there's some sort of fear. This person or yourself may have acted out of fear of not having enough, especially as we have got the Four of Wands here in reverse in the second row, talking about a lie or like a perceived truth that was kind of warped. There's some sort of fear here when it comes to limitation, relationships to money, relationships to foundations, and this seems to be coming from an inner child wound. So I don't know if this is for you or if it's for them, but I do think that this person may have been thinking about this and thinking about where their reactions were coming from, and it's coming from a deep-seated wound that may have been pushed onto them as like a code or a, you know, like a seed or a download or whatever, that they're only now realizing was actually marring the relationship you had. Look, getting together with friends, come on. Wow. And then you've got happiness underneath. Okay, that's really, really lovely. So dogs being here, dogs are loyal, aren't they? So you have loyalty, and the thing is, you look at those dogs, those are two different dogs. So you have two different personalities, two very distinct different people, but they're both friends. And I'm placing this down here on the Choose with the Page of Swords, the Ace of Potions in reverse, the Ten of Daggers. This is really your choice whether or not you wish to get together with this person and kind of, you know, have that conversation, because the opportunity or windfall being in reverse, I feel like this person, there's not competition. I'm not getting that there's competition between you and this person. I feel like it's more something to do with their finances. And I don't get like, oh, this person's really broken, they need you to pay things and that's why they want to be your friend. No, this is more to do with them healing or you healing the relationship you have with abundance, with finance, with either trust when it comes to opening up in that way. And this person may have a similar wound, and this is the reason why you guys kind of exploded on each other. Yeah, it may be. Can I get one more, please? Just one. Thank you so much. Look, forces working against you is upside down. This person is not working against you. And you need to know that. I think someone here needs to know that. Or that person may have also thought that you were working against them, or that you were competition, or that you were something along those lines. There's something here where experiences in the past have kind of made, they've ended up creating assumptions about either your character or you did that about theirs. And it's really coming to light that that isn't true. That just isn't true, that's a wound. And that light coming forward and that light bulb going off and going, oh, okay, I was safe. I actually was safe in that relationship. I was safe to be myself. That person was my soul family. That's a big thing here. I'm going to leave that there. I really hope that gave you some confirmation and clarity on what you already intuitively know. If you are new to this channel and this resonated for you, I'd love for you to hit on the like, the subscribe, and on the notification bell so you can see more. If you are a returning subscriber, soul family, hearts, kisses, I love you guys. I will say that it does seem like you may be on this person's mind. If you have been thinking about somebody, and it may be that you haven't spoken to them in a while, or you've gone from being really, really close to just you see them once in a while, but you started to think about them, or you're starting to see their name in things, it's because they're thinking about you as well. And there does seem to be like this energetic shift that's happening where we are separating. I keep hearing this saying, right? So we're separating the wheat from the chaff or chaff. And all of those friendships or people from past timelines, they're no longer on the timeline that we're with. So if you are having, you know, all of a sudden you're dreaming of this person, or you're thinking about this person, or there's a song that you may have had with this bestie and you keep hearing it, it's because this person's not on they're not on an old timeline. They're on the same timeline as you. They literally are on the same timeline. And if they're on the same timeline, it's because they're on the same vibration. So whatever it is that they're working on and healing through, I feel like Spirit is asking you to do the same. Now, you don't have to do it with this person if you don't want, as I've said before, but your vibes are very similar. And for quite a few people that are resonating with this, the universe is saying, if you really want to give it another try, at least just to have that conversation, you can do so. And I feel like someone here is either going to reach out. If you've been thinking about reaching out to them, this is your green light to do so. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. If you would like to get a personal reading, just have a look in the description box down below. I know people get confused by what that means, but underneath the title, you will see a little word that says more with a couple of dots. If you click on that, it will actually pull a drop down box, and you will see you'll see my email, and just underneath that email you can see all the information when it comes to personal readings, how much it costs, the services, everything. Okay, if you email me, I usually get back to people within a day or two. If you don't hear from me, do not fret. Just send me a prompt email, which means sending me an email within the same thread as the one that you've already sent, and it will send your email to the top of my list, because I get a lot of emails and they can get lost. I love you guys. I really hope you have an awesome day or evening wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye bye. Bye bye.